Hello Flosstube, it's Lori of Mischievous Stitches. I want to welcome all of you to my channel this Sunday. I hope you've had a wonderful week. I know that I have. I've got several things to share with you. I have a work in progress, a few things that I've picked up, and 2 small finishes. So we're just going to jump right in. I've had a very productive stitch week. I'm still gardening, but I'm on the back end of our growing season, so it's less maintenance for me, but I'm able to go out in the morning and the evening to do the watering, but I am getting tomatoes after tomatoes. We made some fresh pico and fajitas yesterday for dinner. It was very good, and there's nothing like that strong acidic taste in a fresh tomato. I think I ate a whole one myself as I was cutting up things for the pico. So I'm enjoying it. But with that being said, because I'm in the yard less, I'm in the house more. Now, in addition to the garden, of course, it's summer, it's South Carolina. Humidity is very high, which means you begin to sweat as soon as you open the door to walk outside. But it's been a mild summer here. We've not hit triple digit temperatures, even with the humidity, the heat index. But it's very high humidity because of all the rain we're having. With that being said, that just means I'm inside more, outside less. So I've gotten a lot of progress on my stitched pieces this week. I want to share all of that with you. So let's just get started. So I know I shared this on Instagram. I'm not sure if I shared it on my video last weekend, but I made a start on this sweet little ornament last Sunday, and this is Heartstrings, a Kringle calendar. This is the January Santa. I had him kitted up. I had the Kringle and beads and the threads. The only thing that I did not have that it called for was this charm, and it's a Mill Hill charm, but I did have something to replace it with, and I'm going to share that with you in a minute. So the fabric and everything, and it did take me the week, most of the week, to get that finished, and here he is. So this is stitched on, oh, I got a wrinkle back in it, but this is stitched on I think it's a 32 count, yes, 32 count lamb's wool linen, and it's 2 strands of DMC over 2 linen threads, and of course 1 strand of the Kringle was in there, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has a little bit of glitter, a little bit of sparkle, especially in his star here and throughout. The beads are in the quilted part of his overcoat, and he is an ice skating Santa. Everyone commented on these blues. I think they're gorgeous. They were really nice to work with. You know, some colors just bring you happiness, calm you, make you smile. And so I enjoy working on him. What I used here in place is through December, of course, we were still in the COVID mask mandates. I don't know about you ladies, but I found that I kept losing my earrings. I love wearing earrings, dangle earrings especially, and this is one of the pair that I always wear at Christmas, and I lost one of them because if you go out and you take your mask off, I lost about 3 earrings over the year of my favorites before I decided I'm done wearing the earrings. So I'm wearing masks. So it took a little while for it to sink into my hard head that I needed to stop wearing them. But anyway, I kept this one. Not only was it one of my favorites, but I knew that I could use it in my stitching at some point, whether it be on a pillow or a tart or what have you. And when I started this piece, it was over here on my side table. I always have a jar over here. I know this is a side note, but I always have a jar over here because I come up here after work and I love to wear my earrings. And so as I'm winding down for the night and I'm taking off the cares of the day, I also take off my earrings and I throw them in a little bowl that I keep here normally. And I had this still in there. And I actually have one other that I have up here, like I said, was my favorite that I lost during COVID. And I hope to use it eventually too, but there's that. And so I got a lot of questions about this. This is the old pattern. It's from 2001, which is 20 years ago. I did look on, the designer is named Pat Thode. No longer designing. There is a website for Heartstrings, but it just pretty much shows some of the designs and also says, I think it was 2019, she stopped, or he, maybe she or he, stopped designing. And a lot of what was designed was the country folk art from the late 90s, the early 2000s. There was also needle point canvases, painted needle point canvases. I did do some searching online for her others, and I did pick up a couple more, and they come in the mail this week, so I'm going to share those with you. But I am interested in getting the other Kringle calendars. So there's different, she has a lot of Santas, and there are different lines. This one happens to be the Kringle calendar. Another one that I picked up this week is called the Santa Factory, and it is a monthly release of Santas. I don't know if it was a yearly thing or just a random grouping that she did over a year, started another one the next year. I'm not sure. But with that being said, I had this kitted up and wanted something quick and easy to stitch to give me a break from Ann Womack. So I'm going to show you Ann because I also worked on Ann this week, and I'm really enjoying everything but over one. So this is a Shakespeare's Peddler, excuse me. This is a Shakespeare's Peddler, and I did share this with you last week. So this is, of course, the antique piece here on the pattern cover. And I'm stitching it with DMC 3777 on Country Mocha, 40 count Country Mocha. And here is where I am. So I've not stitched on Ann until last night and this morning. I'm catching up on my daily threads and before I put it down, but because I've been working on that ornament. And so I've put the threads for this weekend, and I was stitching on her just before doing this video, so that's why she's a little wrinkled. And as I'm doing this over one alphabet, which is so cool, but it's so tedious. That is actually 2 threads to make A through L, and that's 2 lengths of thread. My lengths of thread are about 18 inches. And I use this old hoop, and I'll pull the, use it in just the area I need to stitch the other over one. Otherwise, I'm stitching in hand. But I want to hold it up again because I've gotten a good bit of progress. So where you see there on the right hand side where I'm stopping is a page break. So the page break actually is, the W is just like 1 square away from being the edge of the right hand side of the W. One more thread over, two linen threads over is actually the page break. So I try to get to the end of the page and work into the page break so it'll be easy for me to pick up on the next page. I'm not quite to the bottom. This is where I am here. So I'm starting this little motif. So I think I'm going to do this motif before I pick up another piece this evening to work on. And by the end of the week, I'd like to at least get down either across to this corner or down to the edge so that I'll just have the top and bottom corners as orientation. But that's where I'm at. So there's that. So I'll continue to work on Ann this week. And I'm loving this larger alphabet. I really like that. So I've got a lot of extra fabric to do something else with. And I think it's going to be ornaments. I've enjoyed working on a couple of ornaments this week and getting them finished up. Now I need to get them fully finished. So maybe by next weekend, or at least within a month, I'll get it finished. But I'm enjoying that. Now this other piece is a pattern my friend Donna of D Squared. She gifted this with me about a year ago, and I've not stitched it yet. So my husband and I took a short road trip on Thursday. I had Thursday and Friday off from work this week, which was wonderful because it has been months, over a year, since I've been able to take any time off. So just 2 days was very well needed, very well appreciated, and so relaxing. But my husband and I took a short road trip, and I took this one along with me and finished it up. And I want to share it with you. Now, Donna picked out the fabric, so of course it's not the called for fabric. And it seems a little busy to me as I'm looking at it from far away, but it's so neat. I love that fabric for this. So of course this is Holly Jolly Holiday by Heart and Hand. I need to correct my post on Instagram. I think I said it was Bent Creek and it's not. So it's Heart and Hand. And it goes on the heartware bowl. But I think I'm going to finish it into an ornament. So I do have a heartware bowl. I stitched one of the other pieces, was gifted by my friend Mary. Was stitched the other piece that is a companion piece to this one. I think it's the spring, and it's the topper for the bowl. But I think I'm gonna make this into an ornament and hang it for my tree this year. So once again, there's the pattern, but this is the fabric Donna chose, and I think it's perfect. So those are my 2 finishes this week. I'm very happy with those. And I picked out another one not long before, starting to film. This is one I picked out last night, and I'm thinking I was going to start this. And this is Heart and Hand's Joyful Journal, and it's December. And this is Santa. And there's others, of course. This is in a little series. And I love Santa anyway. But I love the border around the box. It's the sleigh with 3 reindeer, a tree, and I just love this. So I'd like to stitch this one soon too, but I already have one partially kitted up. I've got the buttons, the fabric. I just need to pull the threads, and of course I've got lots of threads. So this is Bent Creek's The Holly Berry Sampler. And here's the fabric I have for it, just a remnant. And then it comes with these little Just Another Button Company buttons to go with it. So I'm going to start this one maybe tonight, just so I can have it oriented, and then put a thread or so in it each evening and maybe have a finish next week. But I want to iron it first. So some of you may have stitched this one. I don't know how old this one is. This one is from, let's see, 2001. I must be on a 2001 kick. But there's that one. So that'll be my next ornament start. And because of the Heartstrings piece by Pat Thode, I ordered a couple of more and I wanted to share them with you. So I got them in this week. First was a kit. And I know there's another kit like this on eBay. I saw it. I think I ended up paying $19 and some change for this kit, but to me it was well worth it because I'm going to share with you in a minute how much came with it. The other one, I think it comes as a kit too. It was just a little more expensive than this one. But this is a Tannenbaum Time 2001, again, 2001. 2001 limited edition Heartstrings, and this is, again, Tannenbaum Time. But I love this Santa. So here it's finished as a stand-up. Here he is framed. But I love his quilted jacket, his quilted coat. I'm not sure why he's standing on a pedestal. I'm going to look at the pattern and see exactly whether it's needed or not. I may remove that and just stop at his feet. But I really like that. So what came with it is the fabric, and it's in a pack that has stars. So there's no stars on the linen. But it's the linen, the whisper, the finishing fabric, the Kringle, and the everything you need to stitch him with the exception of the needle and thread. I've got that. So I ordered him. And this is the Santa Factory. So this is a different series than the one I just stitched. So let me hold him up again. But this is the Noah, this April Santa Factory, and it says 2x2, and it makes me think of Noah because he's holding the ark, and he's standing on a pedestal again, This pedestal makes sense to me because it looks like water, imitates water. And if the story of the flood. So I have him, and he came with fabric, so I'll stitch him soon. But this is the other one I got, and this one is a Kringle calendar. So this is May. And so he's so cute, and he has a biscuit there in his hand and a net to catch them with. So these are the ones I'm hoping to catch each one. And so I have a challenge in view that might have them. The only ones I have are January and May. So if anyone wants to trade, if you've got one that you've already stitched and you're willing to trade any month with me with the exception of January or May, because these are the only two I have. If you're willing to trade with me, send me an email at the email address I've got below. I'd love to trade it out. I'll swap you, even Stevens. So there's that. So those are my plans. So this week I'm going to I'm going to continue to work on Anne. I'm going to also pick up the Mexican sampler, which I started on July 1st with Yanni as a stitch along. I've had to pick up some threads. Let me grab them real quick. So I'm using what I have on hand, but like I shared with you in my last video, it's like Murphy's Law, that old saying that basically all these threads I have, I'm always missing one when I went to go to kit up something. So when I kitted up the Santa, the Kringle calendar Santa, I was missing 3774. And so when I pulled the threads to do the Mexican sampler, I was missing maybe 4. So I had to, and here's the other thing. I pick up the pattern, the sampler, and I think I'm only missing 4 threads. I'm just going to go ahead and start stitching. And what are 2 of the threads I immediately need at the beginning of the pattern? Yeah, 2 of the ones that I needed. So I did get some threads or some work done on that one, but with that being said, I wanted to have them all. So I've gotten all those. So this week I'm going to work on the Mexican sampler. I'm going to continue to work on Anne. And while I was at Hobby Lobby and I was picking up those threads, I also picked up a piece of mat board. I only have a small square left, not enough to finish up those ornaments. So picked up a piece of mat board for finishing, and I picked up these scissors, and they were $5, I think, but they come in such cool colors. There was this bright green, a bright yellow, a bright orange, and a bright pink. And I had this fob that was gifted to me by Dina Half Stitch Cross Stitch when we roomed together at a retreat, and they work perfectly with these scissors. And then I picked up these needles because I was helping a friend who had a purse that was coming unraveled at the zipper, and I wanted to pick up some sewing needles, but I found these Singer sewing needles. And I like them because there's 3 different sizes in the pack, and they're color marked. So you've got I think it's a 24, a 22, a 24, and a 26. And as you can see, and I'm sure that this has been done before, and I've just never noticed, but I really loved that. And I just thought I'd share it. I thought it was pretty cool. So I always know what size I have, and I don't have to compare it to anything. So there's those. But other than that, I am expecting something from 123 Stitch, but it's something I ordered a couple weeks ago, and it's not ornaments. But I do try to kit up something when I order, and then order a small, like an ornament, and I can't remember if I did. I'm sure I did, knowing me, but I can't remember what pattern that was. Isn't that sad? It's been 2 weeks. I can't remember yesterday, but it's been 2 weeks. I also have the giveaway winners from last week. So last week I decided to give away this Sweetheart Tree pattern, LOVE squared. And I asked those that had entered for it to mention their sweetheart. And so many of you told me your love story of how long you have been with your sweetheart, or that you were sitting there with your sweetheart as you watched the video. Thanks for sharing those. I love to hear about love. But the other one was good. God Bless America, Erica Micheals. I just finished this one last week, and I took it to be framed. So I posted that on Instagram yesterday as well. And everyone not everyone, but a lot of you commented positively about the frame. The reason I chose the frame that I chose is because, of course, in the song God Bless America, it says from the mountains to the prairies. And that particular frame looked like mountains, and it had like a wax over it that was a blue shade. So it pulled the blue from the pattern, but also reminded me of mountains. The other piece, I took two to be framed. The other piece that I had framed was Southern Land by Owl Forest Embroidery. And that one, if you remember, I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago that I plan on getting that framed and putting it in my office at work. And I still plan to do that. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to share those finished and framed pieces with you again. So these are the two giveaways from last week, and I have the winners. I have not commented on their comments, but after this video, I will do that. And the winner of God Bless America, there was 131 entries for this one, and the winner was Sherry King. If you know Sherry, reach out to her, let her know so that she knows to come, and I'm going to leave a comment on her comment last video that she's won. But if when you see this, Sherry, just email me at my email address below, your name, full name, and your mailing address, and I'll get it out to you this week. The other winner for the Sweet House tree is Jean Tompkins, who told me that she'd been married to her sweetheart for 38 years. That is so sweet to hear. Thanks for sharing your story with me, Jean, and there were 44 entries with that one. So for this week, what I want to do as a giveaway is this piece here, Holly Jolly Holiday. I want to pass this on. It was a gift, like I said, from my friend Donna, and I want to pass it on to one of you. So there's the finished piece, and you can stitch it on a solid piece of remnant fabric from something else that you have there. But here is the pattern. So this week, I'll be giving away this one. Once again, must be 18 to enter, without, unless you have your parents' permission. Please do not mention giveaway, but leave a comment below and mention Christmas in July. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I want to thank all of you for spending a few moments with me today to talk about my cross stitch. I hope you enjoyed your time here, and until next time, hugs and stitches. Bye-bye.